going on, and welcome to Monday, the 30th of July in the UK. I'm wearing a shirt, I will explain that shortly. But first of all, before we go anywhere, this Brofist isn't just for everybody, it's for one person in particular. This is to you, Jason! You have a great day, pal. I know you're off work sick. We don't like anybody being ill. We don't fucking like it. So, welcome to the Daily Preach. The 30th of July 2012, where we're going to talk about all sorts of cool stuff and take your questions and all that kind of gravy action is going to go on. You can see various new Brofists. I love how after I do a web show, Brofists just flood into me. Even after the break when me and Ghost are just, you know, we just talked for like 2-3 hours and now we need a little break. All my phone starts going crazy with all sorts of Brofists. Not that I mind, because here you lovely guys are. And look at this wonderful hair. We look forward to talking about that on the web show. Yes, we do. Yes, we do indeed. Welcome to the show. Let's get the news out of the way, shall we? What's going on in the world of gaming? First of all, if you're in the UK, for the first time ever, the PEGI ratings on the games are now a fat law. Before, they were just guidelines, so any kid could actually legally go in and buy a copy of GTA. You know, they might be 11 years old and buy an 18's game. Not anymore! Not anymore! True story, Emma, my fiancée, used to work for Game. They were one of the big gaming companies that have now closed down and gone bankrupt. Oh, sad face. That'll teach you to rip off all your customers. Emma used to work there, and she was the only person who would refuse people to sell games to younger kids. And they would legit go and get old people to come and buy them games. So they would be stood there with a copy of LA Noire, which tackles subjects such as murder and rape, and try and buy them for 11 and 12-year-olds. Sad stuff, but it's now actually law, so no more of that, kids, unfortunately. If you did go and buy those games... Not anymore, it's now law. They can actually be legally prosecuted for selling you that game, I'm sorry to say. That is just the way of things, and that is how it's going. Another news, which is pretty cool, I guess, is EA. We don't like EA, do we? Nobody likes EA. But EA obviously announced they're going to make Battlefield 4 pretty soon. Battlefield 3 has only just come out, and now they're making Battlefield 4. EA's pretty desperate for your money, really badly. EA stocks have gone... pew. They've gone down quicker than a hooker. And unfortunately, they just thought the best idea to do this is Battlefield 3 was a hot seller. Let's make Battlefield 4 as soon as humanly possible. Some people are even saying Battlefield 4 is going to be less graphically intensive than Battlefield 3. What? A newer game? Purely because Battlefield 3 struggled on a lot of systems. And they're going to aim it more at the console market. So Battlefield 4 is on its way. Bad Company 3 is not on its way. We did talk about that in a different Daily Preach. But EA have said they're going to continue to support Battlefield 3 regardless of Battlefield 4 coming. So they're going to do all the DLC and stuff for Battlefield 3. That is so desperate for money, isn't it? That is just insanely desperate for money. What? You're going to do DLC for both the games? I mean, sometimes I can support that, but EA have never done that in the past. They release the new game and don't do anything for the older game whatsoever. They're like, well, if you want the DLC and stuff, you better buy the new game. EA are going to be supporting both versions of Battlefield. Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 are going to get constant updates. Give me your money. They want us to just throw our money at EA and rescue them. It's not looking good for EA at the moment. It's really not. So I'm hoping a lot of you guys are kind of... Do you really want another Battlefield 4 already? One that is less graphically good? Why would you want that so soon? It's just insane. It's crazy. The other thing that's going on at the moment is Valve have obviously been talking about their new secret project, right? So Valve said in like February that we've got some secret stuff we're going to release in 2012. We haven't really seen anything yet whatsoever. We've seen the new Left 4 Dead DLC. That's about it. That's been promised for about a year. So everyone's going, what is Valve's new secret thing? Valve are a company that have like a stranglehold on most gamers because of Steam, right? Most people will get all their games from Steam because all their games are on Steam. So why would you want to buy it elsewhere? Some companies allow you to mix and match your games, but essentially people just stick with Steam because then all your games are in nice one tidy place. It's like those meticulous people who like all their folders to be just so. All my pictures are here. They're all labeled correctly. People like all their games to be in one place. So Steam forces you to do that. You don't actually have the game. You have to play it through Steam. You have to have Steam Online. So Valve has this cool position, much like Blizzard did a little while. Blizzard's losing its grip a little bit, and that's okay. But Valve have been saying we've got something secret coming. Now, everybody was going, it's Half-Life 3! It's Half-Life 3! It's probably not Half-Life 3. It's Left 4 Dead 3! It's probably not Left 4 Dead 3. It's Team Fortress 3! It's probably not Team Fortress 3. Everybody seems to think it's this. But there's rumours now spreading, and it's generally been started by Reddit. Now, I generally don't want to talk about anything that comes from Reddit because it's just rumour mongering. But I thought this was actually an interesting idea of what it could be, because Gabe Newell has made a couple of statements, sort of pushing us into what this might be. And it seems the rumours are pushing towards a new operating system. Valve is saying that Windows, etc., just is not good enough to launch the next level of games. They're too widespread. Like, these operating systems are great for general purpose, so you can have all your office applications. They work in businesses, they work here, they work there, they work in gaming, but they're also tied to all millions of ultra amazing different things. Valve's saying if we had an operating system that was gaming primarily, and did all the other stuff kind of as well, but was just focused on gaming, optimizing gaming, making gaming into the next level thing, then they could do some really spectacular stuff. How true that is, I don't know. I'm not a fucking software developer. I don't know any of that kind of shit. I know a good game from a bad one. That's what I know, okay? I don't know how it all works behind the scenes, and frankly, I don't care. That's not what I want to get into. I want to see a good game in front of me, and then I want to tell you guys to go in hell and get it. So Valve's saying that operating systems at the moment are limiting games. How true is that? I mean, we've obviously got Windows at the back end of Xbox. PlayStation's working on something similar. How true is the actual platform all the games run on causing problems? So far, things seem pretty cool. We've got some mega advanced games that seem to be running pretty smoothly. In fact, most of us put down any sort of performance issues to hardware. We don't really consider the software it's running on. We always say, I'm getting some lag. Maybe my processor's behind, maybe my video card's behind, maybe I need a little bit more memory. Not so much memory anymore, but you get the idea. We think maybe my rig itself is actually the problem. Valve's saying perhaps the rigs are fine. It's actually that we're putting all this power through a weaker piece of software. So you've got all this hardware and you've got this game, but in the middle is this software, this back end that it's running on, such as Windows, and you're forcing all this stuff through it, and it's not optimized ideally to use all this stuff in order to get the best out of the game. So could the secret project be an operating system? I think this is a really exciting possibility, but it's completely a possibility. Completely a possibility. It's around as realistic as Half-Life 3, but I would love to see some more information on how the operating systems affect the hardware usage into games. If we're getting very limited performance because of the software that it's running on, I want to see a change. I definitely want to see a change. I would certainly have a separate operating system that was optimized purely for gaming, because otherwise I'm throwing tons of money into my rig under my desk, into my big badass PC that's steaming away every fucking day. My PC is rocking. In fact, my PC is in an almost dire situation. It's overheating to shit recently. I need another rig pretty soon. Going full time and streaming and processing and rendering all the time, my PC is not exactly built for that. So it's, you know, I want to see, is that actually because of the software I'm running on? Is that because my back end, everything I do runs through Windows and it's not exactly optimized for that? Am I pushing a lot through to get 1920 by 1080 performance out of an old game like World of Warcraft because of where my software is actually based on, the foundations of all the games? So a very interesting thing there from Valve. I want to see what more happens to that. We'll see what's going on with that. Before we get into the Blizzard news, let's have our today's Daily Comment, because I fucking love the Daily Comment. Boosh! Clicker! From the Jedmig 6661. He was almost 666 like the Beast. He was almost the Beast, but not quite. He was 6661. And he just went, clicker. Yes, I'm a clicker on my warrior, apparently. Oh, dude, what? Really? Clicker? But that was literally, that's not as impossibly cool as gay or all the other things we had last week. But that was actually the worst comment I got out of the 300 or 400 I got over the weekend. That was the worst one I could find. So the rest of them are actually pretty good comments. So it was a good effort. I like being called a clicker. I like that. Yeah, as it says in the chat there, I was found out. I was sus. What I actually do is I do a very complicated system of movements within the keyboard to make it look like I don't click. And all those videos I did, which is from a clicker to a keybinder, were all magic, baby. Movie magic. It's all very sly editing to make it look like I did stuff fast. You guys might be able to notice it just as this guy did. You keep a lookout. You guys haven't been sharp. This guy spotted it a mile away. Okay, let's go talk about some Blizzard news and some Warcraft news more specifically. Secondary stats. One of the easiest subjects I ever had to tackle in Cataclysm was how to gem. It was really easy, incredibly easy. Yeah, I could generally say to you, well, you know, your main stats, strength, agility, that kind of stuff, were all just super powerful. So unless you were going to get a major bonus to those stats, then you would just gem purely those stats. I always said as a rule of thumb, if your set bonus is going to give you 20 or more of your main stat, then you should gem for it. You should use a mixed coloured gem. In Mists of Pandaria, that has been changed, because Blizzard agreed, and I agree completely, I think this is 100% true, is gemming was boring. I just took an item, I said, okay, it only gives me 10 agi, so I'm going to put a 20 agi gem in there and forget about the set bonus, because I will get more agility by doing that. It was one of the main recurring themes in my very, very first guides back in, 4.2? 4.2, wow. Patch 4.2 is I just told guys, hey, if you don't have a 20 plus bonus to your stats in your gear, just gem pure main stats. You will have higher DPS from doing that. Blizzard is not happy with that. It's a little bit boring. It is. What's the point in having all these set bonuses on these different coloured gem slots if people just aren't going to use them because it's a DPS loss? In fact, what you're suggesting is something really stupid. Is Blizzard is saying to you, hey, this has a red and a blue slot, but on the face of it, if you're a new player or a casual player or you're not into reading about your class or anything like that, which many people aren't, by doing what Blizzard has suggested to you is a DPS loss. And that's not cool, is it? That's not cool at all. Blizzard wants people to look at an item and say, that's a DPS increase. If I gem for those slots, it should be fine for me. I'm okay with certain gem bonuses not being perfect, not being ideal. But I don't like the idea of it's just the main stat, then I don't want it. That's really boring, and it actually gives the wrong message to new players or inexperienced players, because they go, well, why would this item have a red and a blue socket if I gem it with a red and a blue that are correct? So let's say it was an agility item. So in a red I would put 40 agi, and in the blue I would put 20 agi, 20 hit, something along those lines. Why, if I do that, is that actually a DPS loss? Because Blizzard has suggested on this epic piece of armor that should fit it. Well, that was just the way it was in Cataclysm. So Blizzard has changed that. So what they've done is essentially doubled the value of our secondary stats. So haste is worth almost like twice as much. Hit will be worth twice as much up to a point. Mastery worth twice as much. This gives us a lot of options with gemming because it's no longer as easy to decide, and I'm really excited to sort of help you guys get through that, because when Mists of Pandaria launches, you guys are going to be looking to me and say, right, Preach, the game's now live. The hell do I do with my class? How do I make him absolutely baller? I want to get that stuff right, and I actually quite enjoy, because I'm a total nerd, right? This is like complete nerd heaven for me. I get to go through various spreadsheets and stuff and go, well, if this happens and this happens and this happens, and it actually makes things a little bit more interesting for me, rather than just say, you know what? Just gem pure agility. Just gem pure intellect. Just stick a strength gem in there and fuck off whining. No, I don't have to do it anymore. I can go, well, you might want strength hit in there. You might want some strength crit. You might want some strength haste, depending on your class. And you need to work this out and have a little judgment call on it. What is your current haste value? All this kind of stuff I really like. So I'm happy that Blizzard has changed it from just a generic, boring thing. So we didn't have what we had at the end of Cataclysm. If you look at all the Dragon Soul raiding gear, it's just red sockets. They gave up. It was pointless because people weren't going to gem for that stuff because it wasn't working out. So they just said, well, just have all red sockets then. If you're just going to gem main stats all the time, we might as well give you some set bonuses to account for the fact that you're just going to gem red slots all the time. It makes sense. And the Dragon Soul gemming is actually incredibly boring. Simple and easy. People just go and make money. But what do we see on the auction house all the time? Red gems, probably 1,000 gold, maybe 800 gold, depending on your server. Yellow gems, blue gems, purple gems. What, 70, 80 gold for an epic blue gem? Why? Because hardly anybody needs one. You might have one item that needs one, maybe two to activate a meta gem, depending on what you're using. All this kind of stupid shit, and that just makes no sense. Dual crafters get screwed over. The players are screwed over because it's not interesting. Very cool little thing. I really like that change. The other one is heroic testing is continuing tonight. I can't stream that for you. I'm really sorry, I can't stream that. Let me just check the schedule. I believe normal mode, though, 25-man normal mode. Boom, boom, boom. Let's have a look at the raid testing. So tonight, in approximately 2 hours, I will be raiding Bloodlord Tyak and Heart of Fear on 10-player heroic. But at midnight, that's 1900 EDT for the US and 1 AM Central European Standard Time, I'm going to be raiding a 10-man normal, Garajal the Spiritbinder. I believe I've already tested that. I think this is a retest. They've probably switched something up. So I'm going to be testing that tonight. That's going to happen today. I will be live streaming that, I think, depending on how tired Emma is. I don't like live streaming because when I can't talk to you guys, because it's just a waste of your time. You could be watching anybody. But tomorrow, raiding marathon, 25-man raid testing on Mists of Pandaria beta starts tomorrow. Now look at this schedule. From half past 6 GMT, which is 7:30 European time, and 1:30 in the afternoon EDT for your Americans, we're going to be raiding 25-man normal, and then an hour and a half after that we'll be raiding a different boss, an hour and a half after that we're raiding a different boss, an hour and a half after that we'll be raiding a different boss, another hour and a half later we'll be raiding a different boss, and an hour and a half after that, that is going to be 3 AM European time. 3 a.m. we will be testing Su Long in 25 player normal. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 25-man player normal mode bosses tomorrow. We were up and down as to whether they're going to even bother testing 25 player normal. A lot of the guys in the guild actually thought, what's the point? We've tested it in 10 player normal. We've already started doing the heroic versions. Why do 25-man normal? Simple fact is, not most people in 25-man guilds will go straight for the heroic modes. They'll spend a few weeks in 25 player normal. They need to check if that shit's balanced, because they can make any number of mistakes moving it from 10 to 25. So what they're doing is they're spamming the 25 player normal. They're just going to throw loads at us a whole day tomorrow. That is a lot of raiding tomorrow. That is a lot of raiding. From 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. is when the last boss launches. So you can imagine that's going to be going on till 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., maybe even 5 a.m. Big raiding tomorrow. Huge amount of raiding. I should be able to live stream most of that until it gets to the very later ones, in which case I won't be live streaming anymore. But that's what's going on in Blizzard World. A change of stats and tons of raiding coming up. Tons of raiding coming up. I'm going to take 2 questions that I picked out from emails and from the YouTube comments, and then I'm going to take your questions right here, guys. And then I'm going to take your questions right in the live stream for you guys who tuned in. This one came in from Jeremy. Okay, so here he goes. This is his words. Me and my brother have joined a pretty casual guild, currently still pushing through Heroic Dragon Skull. I play a Holy Priest and he plays a Marksman Hunter. And we've been in the guild for a while and have done lots for it. We're both exalted with the guild, etc. But for the past few weeks, we've been left out of the raiding group where players not as good as us have been taken with them. But these less baller players are friends of the guild master, so we are being taken purely on that. Even after we had signed for the run days before these other players were still being left behind. What to do, Preachy? This could be any number of things. And as always, I will answer openly and honestly as possible. It could be that you're not as good as you think you are. That is entirely possible. It always feels resentment when friends of the Guildmaster come in. You instantly say, oh, those guys probably suck. I'm very wary of any hunter that's playing marksmanship in Heroic Dragon Soul. You shouldn't be. You really shouldn't. Survival is just way, way ahead. As last I checked anyway, I could be being a massive noob right now. That is entirely possible. And it's perhaps they've decided, why is this hunter... And some people, especially in more casual guilds, have real trouble approaching other players. They would rather just filter you out by replacing you. So it could be amongst the officers or whatever. They're going, why is this the guy playing marksman? Survival is much better. I have been in those conversations. I have been in those conversations where they don't want to approach you. They really don't. Why? People don't like confrontation. A hell of a lot of people don't like confrontation. They just don't like it. So a lot of this conversation is marksman again. Quite a few people email saying this rogue's playing assassination on bosses where combat is clearly superior. Well, I like assassination. Good for you. But ultimately, if a combat rogue comes along or a survival hunter, they're going to take that guy. He's going to do naturally more damage because that spec just produces more. In terms of your Holy Priest player, obviously I can't say. The only thing that I picked up on there was when you said marksmanship hunter. It was the only thing I said. So what I'm saying is, first of all, it could be that you're not as good as you think you are. That happens. It does happen, especially when it's such thing as that. But that's just one theory, and I'm not saying that is the reason. The other thing I want to bring up is you could literally just be being pushed out so he can raid with his friends in a casual guild. Of course that happens. Of course that happens. What do you do to resolve either of these issues? It could be 1, it could be 2. You ask. You plainly ask. Get the fucking nuts to do it, man. And, you know, some people feel really wary about asking tough questions in World of Warcraft. Don't. It's an anonymous game. Nothing bad is ever going to happen. What's the worst that could happen? I always ask this in real life as much as in game. What's the worst that could possibly happen? The worst that can happen is you'll be kicked from the guild. You aren't raiding anyway. Right? You're in no worse a situation, really. You're really not. So you ask the question. You don't act like a maniac and go, what the fuck's going on here? I'm a fucking holy priest. What the shit's happening in here? My bro's the fucking awesome sauce. Don't do that. What you say is, yo, can I speak to you? You know, we're signed for all these raids. We've been here for a hell of a long time. And we're no longer getting invited to raids. Can I have an answer? If you don't get a clear and concise answer, it's because they don't want to tell you that you're not going to get invited. People tend to really avoid tough subjects. They really do. Other than that, the guy might be a complete asshat mouthy git, and he'll tell you straight up he's just waiting for the trigger. The trigger would be you asking, or ultimately falling out in guild chat and hoping you'll leave. These could be all the things that'll happen. But the first step is to ask, what's going on? Why are we not getting invited to raids? We've been here much longer. We've been on much more progress. We've maintained our attendance. Why are we now not getting invited to the raids? Can I have an answer, please? And if you don't get an answer you're happy with, for whatever reason, don't rage. Don't rage. Just say, right, well, obviously this isn't working out. I will be actively seeking another guild. And you're fine. You're no worse off. If you're not raiding now, you're no worse off doing that. You're really not. But don't burn your bridges, because you don't want to go in like a raving maniac and it's a relatively simple thing that maybe you've missed, or, you know, it could be something like the Marks Hunter. It could be something like, well, you know, your bro keeps playing Marks and we just don't think it's the best. All the top hunters in the world are playing survival. Can you, you know, why is that? And you can easily go, well, why didn't you say something instead of pushing us out? But you don't do that. You be totally baller about it. You go, understood. I'll speak to him, and if your brother doesn't want to play Marks survival, fine. That's, you know, and you want to play together, that's fine. That's more than fine. Find a different guild, and then you'll get to raid. If your brother doesn't mind playing survival, it could be one of the things where it's like, why didn't they just say that? People don't like asking. They don't like bringing it up. I used to assign things to my officers all the time. I would instantly check up, have you done it? Have you done it? Because people will go, yeah, I'll talk to him, and then they won't. And people who do go out and do that, those are the people you want. But a lot of people in the casual guilds don't like doing that. Okay? That's just a simple fact of it. Ask. That's your next step. Ask, and take it from there. Keep cool. Keep baller about it. Okay? Be very, very cool. If they want to get ragey, that's fine. Don't fire back. Just be like, well, okay, I can see you're very aggravated about the whole subject, the whole situation. We'll call it a day, shall we? You're in no worse off situation. Mr. Pandaria is a couple of months away. Don't worry about it. Let's go to the comments on YouTube before I go to these fucking questions here. First one is, people are very disturbed at the amount of live content that came up over the weekend. Don't panic. Don't panic. My channel has always been a combination of live and edited gameplay. That's always been the case. The live stuff has only slightly increased, obviously, because of the daily preach. You guys like that. I enjoy doing it. It's a great end to my day. That's why there's a slight increase in live stuff. In reference to the Preach and Go show, it's a very mixed reaction. We expected that. We expected a mixed reaction. It's a very sort of British and more Western. Some parts of US get it, especially the introduction of things like The Office and this really dark, sarcastic humour. That kind of humour. We did not expect everybody to get it. Some people really don't get the sense of humour me and Ghost have. They really do not get it, and some people get very offended by it. So we expected a mixed reaction. That's okay. Thing is, we still love it. We had a great time, and the live audience that was there was in stitches all the way through it. If any of you were in the live audience, the few hundred that showed up for the live show, the whole chat was just spamming with laughs, and they really enjoyed it. Maybe because they've been with us a long time. I'm sure there's a lot of people, as we're gaining about 100 subscribers a day. That's a lot of new people who aren't sure. They might pick up because of my WoW guides or all that kind of stuff. They're very rarely not going to join because of the live content. Just be aware there's always been live content, and it will continue to be there. It's something me and Ghost very much enjoy. Don't worry about it. Edited, fully edited professional content comes out every single day. There'll be a video going up straight after this daily. All that stuff remains. We also do the live stuff every weekend, pretty much. And also the daily preaches daily, Monday to Friday. So don't worry about that. The other question is, I haven't played WoW since Wrath of the Lich King, and now I'm interested in playing again. If you were in my position, would it be better to wait till Mr. Pandaria comes out or start playing now? That was from I'm the big boy now. I'm the big boy now? Okay. Does that mean you've been potty trained? That's usually what it means when you become a big boy. If you want my honest answer, start playing now. If you haven't played since Wrath of the Lich King, then your character isn't 85. So you want to get 85 before Mr. Pandaria launches, I would assume. You also want to get your professions up to date. You're also going to want to prepare yourself for leveling, all this new experience. Have a quick overview. Luckily, in Cataclysm, you can experience all the endgame content within a couple of weeks of hitting level 85, so you've no issue there. But all that content is only relevant for the next 2 months. So if you're thinking of coming back from Mr. Pandaria, you should rejoin now, especially if you haven't played since Wrath of the Lich King. So it gives yourself 2 months to experience all the Cataclysm content you care about, okay? You can just jump in, get to 85, maybe you've got a couple of alts you want to sort out, maybe there's a couple of class changes you're not happy with, maybe you're thinking about re-rolling. It's no good joining Mr. Pandaria and being like, well, now I have to do the Cataclysm stuff. And then it's all out of date anyway. Do it while it's relevant. It's always more fun while it's relevant. And it's okay going back and doing stuff again. I still occasionally raid Molten Core with Ghost because he needs transmog gear. and Blackwing Lair. I still occasionally do that, but it's obviously miles more fun when it's actually relevant content and it's level appropriate. So if you haven't been playing since Wrath of the Lich King, you're looking to come back, you've been out, you've sowed your wild oats across all sorts of other games, and now you're thinking of coming back, do it now. Come and enjoy it while it's still relevant, it's still good fun. You're going to get to play with the new talents, you're going to get to understand if the class you left behind is still one you want to play, all that kind of stuff, and it gives you a couple of months just to settle back into the almost routine of World of Warcraft, of what needs to be done, managing dailies, managing your professions, playing the auction house a little bit, just dipping your toe in here and there, and just getting ready for when all the big new stuff comes out, and then it's all fresh and relevant again. Go ahead and do that. Let's take questions from the audience. Just a refresher while those questions come in of the daily comments. Clicker. Yes, of course, the Preaching Show was based off a combination of Shooting Stars and Celebrity Juice. I find those shows personally hilarious, so we went and did that. Are you going to pull a Total Biscuit on us? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I'm sure you guys know what that... oh, you guys all know what that means. I don't know what it means. Do you look into the maths mechanics of my class? Do you believe it's absolutely essential to look into maths in order to be the best player that you can be? Ooh! No. No, it doesn't. What you need to understand is the mechanics. The maths and stuff tells you stuff like haste breakpoints. It tells you mastery breakpoints in some occasions. It tells you where crit becomes less valuable. It tells you where dodge and parry become less valuable and where mastery becomes more valuable. The thing is, people like me will tell you the answer so you don't have to look into the maths. And then you're no worse off! Yeah! That's what I do. No, I don't care about the maths of the class. If someone says to me I need 2,468 haste rating for the Shadow Priest and here's the maths why, and then they go, and I got this by going C over 1 over 4, I instantly just tune out and go, right, so I need 2,468 haste rating. Cool, see you later. That's all I do. Yeah, fuck yeah. And that's how I got my world first DPSs. Some people believe that you should know the ins and outs of your class like no other. You should sit there and do E equals MC squared all over it. No, absolutely not. Because the answers are given to you. It's not cheating. These are on public forums, on many, many public forums. Those are the answers there. All I care about is the actual figure. That's all I care about. I don't care how you arrived at the answer. I really don't. I'm sorry. I appreciate the work those guys put in. Some people like to show all their working and stuff like that. That's great because there's other mathematicians out there who are working their balls off to give us this information. But I just want the answer. That's all I need. I care about playing the game. I want to enjoy my game. I don't want a maths lesson. I really don't. If someone says to me, yo, Preach, about 16.4% dodge rating, it's going to be more effective to go into parry. Okay then. Awesome. If that maths has been proved and worked out, boosh, yeah, and then I'll make a video telling you guys and that word spreads. Nobody needs to hold a whole maths session on it. Quite frankly, I don't have time to sit down and work out all the maths of everything. You know, should I use Mortal Strike over Slam? In most occasions, you can work it out. I'll give you an example. In Mists of Pandaria, there was a huge discussion between me and Deke, the other DPS warrior, or one of the other DPS warriors in Method, about the difference between Heroic Strike and Slam in the arm spec. And we both just said, well, Slam hits harder. There's your answer. I don't need to see the fucking maths. I don't care. Slam hits harder. Costs cheaper. Doesn't stop me getting rage. Party time, everybody. That's all I needed to know. You know, it's a gut feeling sometimes. If I go, wow, Heroic Strike costs me, well, I don't know, 30 rage and does 20,000 damage. Slam costs me 15 rage and does 30,000 damage. Guess what I'm going to do more of? Oh! Easy as that. So a lot of the time this math backs up what you can see on the screen. It really is a case of that. The only stuff I really like the maths for is breakpoints. When do we get an extra dot tick? That's always really important. That's a big DPS boost. I want to know that information. But I also want to know that if I go past that figure, I'm not really gaining anything. So I can get more mastery, more crit, stuff like that. But I don't think it's important that you understand the maths of the class. No. Just check the answer. That's what I do. I prefer to play. I just want to play. I want to play my game. I don't want a maths test. Ghosty with capital letters. Preach. Looking at the combo point jump for rogues from 5 to 10, do you think it'll have a big change in the style of DPS in terms of generic points up and finish, especially with gargling sweaty balls? Not really, it just saves wasted combo points. There was tons of wasted combo points in Cataclysm. You get to 4, you go for your Revealing Strike, and blah blah blah. You get to 5, and then you couldn't use a Revealing Strike, so it'd be a waste of a combo point. It just gives us that buffer zone. It's just making sure there's not that waste of DPS going on, which is cool. Have you had much chance to check out trade skills in MOP yet? What do you think is the coolest stuff going to make for cash? They're not really in yet, so no. Like dual crafting hasn't been implemented properly yet. Some of the enchants you can't even do. Enchanting was put in first, and a lot of people capped that easily because you can buy. There's a weird thing in Mists of Pandaria beta that I'm interested if it will make it to live. And specifically, I'm talking about in the Jade Forest, in the first leveling zone. There are vendors about the second town in that sell full sets of green item level 372 gear. So if you have a freshly dinged level 85 alt and jump straight into the Jade Forest, which most of you will do, you can instantly get to level 372. The only issue with that is those disenchant into the new mats, and they're just on infinite supply. They just come from vendors. So everybody just went there and spent a couple of thousand gold and had pretty much capped enchanting. So something weird's going to happen there. We'll have to see what's going to happen there. I'm going to do a heroic Firelands tomorrow. Should I buy Arcane or Fire? Whatever you want. I don't think it matters for Firelands anymore. On some fights, Arcane's going to pull way ahead. And other fights, Fire is. I just got into a guild. They are a World Top 100 guild as a friends and family member. But my friend who got me in said I'm good enough to get into the main raid. How should I go about getting into the main raid? I'm currently in the Alt 8 of 8 Heroic Raid. Well, you better be pulling face in there. You better be pulling decent numbers. They're only going to take you if they're not actively recruiting your class. Then you need to impress them. You certainly want to wait until you do a really good run. I mean, you've got some time yet, so you're still running alt raids. Wait till you do a really good run. I hope a World Top 200 guild should be doing World Vlogs anyway, and then say, you know, I'm looking to hopefully raiding. I've got some free time in Mists of Pandaria. I would love to be able to raid with you guys. I've been getting on well. Is there a possible opportunity there? Make them aware before some goober who plays the same class randomly applies and they accept him getting ready for Mists of Pandaria. People always drop out in new expansions, even if they don't tell you. They will level to 90 and go, I don't really like this game. It's a bit rubbish, really. And then they'll just disappear. Get your name in early. I've seen lots of people who are perfectly capable of being in the main raid and they were friends and family. We then accepted somebody who had just randomly applied. And 2 weeks later they go and vent, yeah, well, I was thinking of raiding. Yeah, but we've just applied. We've just taken on a new guy. Get your name down early. Make sure you have a decent run. And make sure you talk a little bit on vent. Become friendly. Ultimately, if they know you, they'll probably take you. What is better for raiding, Fire or Arcane? Interestingly enough, they're not too dissimilar depending on what you will choose. Fire is obviously overall the highest DPS spec, but it's not uncommon to see some of our mages playing Arcane even on fights like Madness of Deathwing. Fire overall, definitely, especially when upside gear. Could you do a Death Knight week? All three specs have had significant changes. You haven't done a Blood DK Misguide yet. Yeah, let me bring that up before we end the show. I'm going to take one more question after this, and I'm going to end the show. There are 6 guides remaining for me to do before the beta ends, essentially. Now, I know a lot of the classes have had major changes since I did those videos. I started doing them a long time ago. What I'm going to say is I'm not going to do those again, purely because Live's coming soon, and I'm going to redo all the guides anyway, so they're the proper 5.0 Mists of Pandaria guides. They're going to be boosh. They're going to be all nice and fresh. What I will say is voting will no longer occur for the next guides, because essentially I've got 2 rogue guides to do. The Holy Priest video is going up in about 20 minutes. If you're watching this on YouTube, it went up yesterday. And then I'm going to do 2 rogue specs, the Blood DK, and then monks. And that's it. I've only got the 6 left to do. There's 2 rogues to do, 1 deep Blood DK, and the monks. And that's it. They'll all be done. That's all the Mists of Pandaria stuff. Now, there are some that have had huge amounts of changes, but those changes will continue. I've no doubt I'll make a new video if I was to do that, and then 2 weeks later they'll probably change again. I'm going to wait till it goes live after that for doing any more class guides. And then they will be all out as soon as I can humanly get them out. I desperately want the channel to be the #1 source for the WoW guides. Last question. Lol, my current guild's enhancement shaman is bitter that I outperform him and he's spreading shit around the server about me. Now half the server thinks I'm a ninja. How can I address this without transferring off? You fucking call him out on it, dude. Don't take shit from anybody. I mean nobody. Guild master, officer, fucking top #1 guild in the world. I don't give a shit. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. Absolutely fuck him. You call him out in the middle of guild chat. It's like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? Why are you saying all this stuff? Call him out on it. Fucking spreading rumours. Fuck that. I've seen that a million times. I nip that shit in the bud immediately. I don't give a shit who it is. I don't care if I get kicked. If someone starts spreading lies about me and I find out about it, I'm fucking calling you out on it straight away. Fucking no chance. I don't care who you are. I really don't. I don't give a goddamn. I couldn't give a shit. I'll call you out on it every day. More personal pride. Don't sit there and take a beating in a virtual world. Oh, that's so lame, dude. Kick some ass. Take some names. And then you have a name for yourself as the guy who punks bitches out. That's right. Not to get all hardcore on you, but fuck that. Big middle finger. Next time he's online, say, dude, write in guild chat. Say his name. Why am I hearing all this stuff that you're talking about me in guild? What's going on? And let's see what his answer is. And he might have some smart ass reply because he's sat behind his PC and everyone's a fucking big bro behind the PC, aren't they? They're a big hardcore geezer. Call him out on it and make him feel really small. I say, dude, that's so weak. How sad are you? Is this because I beat you on that fight? Lame, man. Really give it to him. That's what I would suggest anyway. Some of the people might say that's causing drama. It's defending yourself from bullshit. Fuck that. As soon as you let a rumour spread about you, people will remember you for that. Call him out on it ASAP. Alright, ballers, I'm going to go. I'm going to get the priest video up for you guys now. I hope you have a fantastic day, ballers. And I'm going to be raiding tonight, some heroic modes, and then I will see you again at 5 PM tomorrow for the Daily Preach. You take it easy, ballers. Thanks for tuning in.